I don't know, drama from the beginning. But anyways, this is what happens in life. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Drama to Dharma. Oh, what a week it has been. I'll tell you. Gabriel said yesterday when we put the topic up, for those of you who are new to the show, my name is Josie Herndon, and I get messages from the angelic realm of Gabriel, and we talk about day-to-day life and what's going on now and how we can all help each other and raise the vibration and all the wonderful things that we can do here in 2021. Now that 2020 is over, we've been talking about that, but boy, does it feel, I think it's a different energy. I hope, you're all feeling the blessings of 2021. And okay, my grandson's here and I asked him to go someplace else, but I don't think he's going to listen. So okay, I'll go somewhere else. That's just so you know, the name of the show is Drama to Dharma. Okay, Josie's Drama and Gabriel is Dharma, and so that's what life is. And it's just, that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to keep going and let the angels guide the night. Yeah, I have my grandson here because of the COVID, and he's quarantining with me for probably a couple of weeks because his mommy works out and his daddy. So we're just all trying to stay safe. There's been a lot of COVID in my world here in Riverside County in California. There's just a lot going on over here. But anyways, the topic tonight that Gabriel picked yesterday when I went to put the show on is staying in my lane. He's basically saying, stay in your lane, Josie. And that's been my focus for the last week or so. I was having a hard time because of a lot of things. We talked about some of it last week, but with my health and with the coronavirus and all the things that have been happening, and not to mention if I turn the news on, then I totally get out of my lane. Politics takes me completely out of my lane. It gets me angry. It gets me wanting to get into people's business. All of those things are know what's going on, be nosy, whatever. And so we just kind of got back into focus this week, and that was the reason he picked the topic. So that way, we want to talk about how can we stay in our own lane? How can we focus on our intention, focus on our manifestations for 2021 and all the things that we're supposed to be doing, the things that will prosper us in life, that will help us in our own health. So it's a broad topic, but he says that it's a topic that is necessary right now to remind everybody to just stay in your lane, stay in your circle of friends, of family, of loved ones. Stay in your own realm. There are a lot of different things going on there. My son's on today, Samuel. Hi, Samuel. And we were talking before the show, and he was saying, that there's, bad people out there. And I said, I know, because he was telling me to be careful. And believe me, I haven't left the house hardly in a month. But, but he's right about that. I mean, there are people out there that can be dangerous and those kinds of things. And so, if we get out of our lane, we get out of our focusing on what it is that we need to do, sometimes that energy will come to us because we're scared. we get scared, or we start worrying. I start worrying about those things, and then that brings energetically those things into our life. So it's all about our vibration, and where do we want to be? Who do we want to be around? What kind of people do we want to have in our life? When I say people, Gabriel says humans. What humans? Because everything is vibration. So whatever it is we're putting out to the universe is definitely what we're going to bring back into our universe. So staying in our own lane is, part of that. And, this program is for you. And I will bring a direct message from Gabriel at some point in the show. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to ask you guys tonight, because sometimes I have a guest. Tonight I don't have a guest. So I'm just going to ask you to please put comments and questions for me. That really helps me keep the conversation going as well. Gabriel welcomes any questions that you might have for the angelic realm. And that would be good. So if you, we stay on topic with staying in our lane, staying focused on what it is that we want to do. So you might say, well, what is it that I want to do? I'm at home. There's nothing to do. So then that, bears the question again, what do you want to do? What is it that you want to do? Do you want to, you're living life one day at a time. We all, I feel like God has put us at home for a reason, so we could reflect. We're mirrors to each other, or we're mirrors to ourselves right now. Whatever it is, it's our time to really think about, what do we want in our lives? Who do we want to be in this life? How can we dream our life? Basically, can we dream our life? Can we imagine what it is that we want? And that's daydreaming. Daydreaming's fine. When you're at home resting, dream about what it is that you want to manifest in this world that is beautiful, that is a higher vibration. Those are the things that we can do. And those things might sound a little boring, or kind of, like, yeah, that might work, might not. It really does work. I mean, all the teachings that are out there all say the same thing about law of attraction, and what you put out is what you get back. So think about that when you're putting your energy out, and where are you giving your energy? If you're giving your energy to things that are angry, or television news that's upsetting, then that's going to bring that vibration into your life, whether it's with your loved ones at home, or whether it's just with your own sadness or anger that's not really helping you move forward. All these things are blocks that get stuck, that make you stuck when you're when you're trying to move forward. So the blocks could be the distractions. Like right now, I'm getting a distraction. I feel it from Nolan. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. So the distractions that come up are, how do we handle the distractions? Like right now, this is a good test for me, because it's like, okay, am I going to keep going? I have to keep going. This is a live show, right? So how am I going to keep my vibration up? I'm going to, just keep it going, because I've told the angels, yes, I'm going to do this work. And that's what you're going to do. However it is that you speak to God, however you speak to your higher power, and distractions come up, just keep moving forward with it. Keep moving forward and up with it, and just, say, yes, I'm just going to keep going with it, because this is what, I want to do. I want to keep moving forward in my life. I want to keep vibrating at a higher vibration in my life. What is it going to take for me to do that? Is it going to take for me to switch my thoughts? Is it going to take, for me to go for a walk? What is it going to be? How am I going to be able to move those thoughts and keep going with what it is that you're trying to do? Let's see, Renee is asking a question. She says, can Gabriel clarify that staying in our lane does not mean being stuck or freezing in time, but rather being focused on your specific purpose and taking action to keep moving forward in your lane? Absolutely. So you're driving on the freeway. Thank you, Renee. You're driving on, when you're staying in your lane, you're not staying in your lane stopped. You're actually moving forward in life, moving forward. You're not, I've used this before, and on a highway, you're going forward. You're not making a U-turn. You're not stopping unless you get off your lane. But if you're focused on going somewhere, you're moving forward in your lane. And sometimes when you switch lanes back and forth, that's okay. You might be able to move faster, but he says that you're really going to get there at the same time. So if you're staying in your lane, from this perspective, he's just saying to stay what he's saying when he's referring to staying in your lane, he's referring to keeping our own business, basically, minding our own business, because we have enough with our own stuff in our lives than to worry about what other people are doing, because there might be other people who, are doing things and you might not agree with or whatever, and you can just bless them and release them. For me, I have 3 adult children, and staying in my lane means let them live their life. Let my kids, my adult children, live their life and bless them, and so that they can be adults in their life. So, that's kind of what that means. Like, even butting into our kids' business when we're not supposed to, because that's not doing them any good. It could mean even our spouses, let our spouse or our mates, do whatever it is that their spirit wants them to do, not holding people back, looking at our own self. When we're looking at what other people are doing, we're not looking at our own self. And so when he says that, that's what he means by that is let's mind our own business and keep things going forward in our life. And when we do that, the people in our life will also appreciate that. They will definitely appreciate that, right? Because they're going to, then do their life. They're going to do their life or whatever, doesn't even matter what they do, right? So I think he's mostly wanting us to just, focus with this topic, focus on how can we stay within our own business, our own awareness of our life, the awareness, our own spiritual, relationship, our spiritual relationship with God and with self. We're the only ones that can do it. We're the only ones that can tap in to the energy of the angelic realm. We can do it together, of course, as a group and raise the vibration together. But when it comes time to pray and meditate, that's our personal relationship with God, with the angels, with the higher power, with Source. So we picked this topic in a way to where it'd be kind of funny, because that's something that I say to myself. But really what he's saying is with that is to mind our business, mind our awareness, mind our own, be our awareness with ourselves, with our higher self. And again, be in alignment with our higher self. And yes, that does mean to keep moving forward, because when we do that and we tap into who we truly are and we feel that higher vibration, whatever that means for you, then we're going to keep moving forward. And Gabriel says it's highly recommended that when we do that, we say in the light. In the light. We are doing this in the light. We are tapping into our light within. We all have a light within. Some have more light than others, just only because of the vibration that you're holding. Every human has a capacity to be at a lower vibration or a higher vibration at any time. When I'm anxious and depressed and I'm fear-based, that's a very low vibration. It's the same vibration as my clients that are on heroin. Gabriel said that today. I did a group for my clients on Zoom, and we were talking about that a lower vibration of addiction, because I work with addicted clients, that a lower vibration of addiction and the lower vibration of a family member who's in depression and anxiety is the same vibration. There's no judgment. It's just a different realm. So we can be at a higher vibration when we ask, and we just ask. That's what they say. Just ask God, ask the angels, ask Source. How can I get to this vibration, Lord? Or you can just ask whatever questions. They just said to ask. Ask them questions. Ask them to be there. Allow them to come in. Invite them in. And they're right there. Invite them in to nurture you, to guide you with their wisdom, We talk about this every week, and it's just another reminder to do that, really, because he says the words of wisdom are always the same in the end. He says, do we repeat the same things? Yes, we do, because you need to hear them. You need to hear them over and over, because we forget there's so much vibration right now on the planet with everything that's going on that we forget sometimes, or we just don't tap in. We don't tap in, and we can tap into source. We can tap into God anytime. He's always there. They're always there, just waiting for us to ask them and to honor them and to invite them to come in, and they will. So this message is important right now. There's a lot going on in my life. This last week has been very, very, very polluted with the COVID-19 virus, with my staff and clients. It's just been, in this community that I live in, it's just everywhere. So I'm praying for my community. I'm praying for this world, that this will come to an end soon. It's been almost a year and we're all exhausted. We are exhausted by it emotionally, which then in turn goes physically and becomes sometimes physical ailments in our bodies. But the good news is the people that I know that have it have very little symptoms right now. So I don't know, but I'm praying for them. They're just going through it with, runny noses and things like that, and maybe lose taste buds and things like that. So, if you get it, or if you've had it, you have the antibodies, you're done. And then if you have it, just pray that it's going to just bounce off you in your 7 to 10 days and you'll be done. Because everybody I'm talking to, thank God, have it at home. They're, quarantining, but my staff are wonderful. They're still doing Zooms with our clients with the COVID, and they don't feel that bad. They feel well enough to still do their groups, because addiction and suicide are taking more people right now than the COVID deaths. So it's important for us to stay doing our work, those of us who work in recovery and behavioral health, like I have for 30 years. And I know there's people out here listening that are struggling with addiction or depression. If you are, get help. We're here to help you. We're doing everything via Zoom. I'll put my stuff up later, but we're doing Zoom. All the professionals I know that have outpatient centers are doing Zooms. And so do that. Do the telehealth. Reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody for that therapy, and then reach up to heaven. Reach up to the heavens for that guidance. It's a combination. It's a combination of all of it right now. We need all the tools we've ever, right now it seems like the time that we need those tools that we've learned all our life. Whatever it is we've been taught, it's time to pull those tools out, the toolbox. I have to pull my toolbox out right now. So if you have tools that you've been taught through your life, pull them out. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to read some of the questions here. I have, so I hope that answered your question, Renee. That was Gabriel answering. Jim, what is the best way to stay informed, speak my truth, and be present? What is the best way to stay informed, speak my truth, and be present? Yeah, that's a good question, because staying informed is also very important, right? Everybody says, well, what am I going to do? Just be like an ostrich and keep my head in the ground, and then next thing you know, the world's going to be flipped over or something. How do I stay informed? And for me, I stay informed by knowing that Jim, my husband's going to tell me what's going on. So I'm kind of, lucky that I don't have to watch TV, because I already know that Jim's on it. But, now Jim's trying to get off the hook and say, well, what can I do so that I can get off the hook and not have to listen to this crazy stuff, and then still, speak my truth and be present. So, slow down on it. Maybe say, okay, I'm going to do once a week and get a report. Once a week, go in there, and you're going to get really busy on Monday or whatever day you start work. Do it that night before if you don't want to start your work. Don't do it before the weekend, when you can just all weekend obsess on it. We always say, let's just have a good weekend, right? So wait until Sunday evening. That's why they do 60 minutes on Sunday evening, just to kind of give people whatever happened, right? So just, pick one of your favorite, whatever it is, news shows, if you have one, and, watch it once a week. Gabriel says, if you want to stay informed, because it's not going to change that much, believe me, he says, you'll get it all on a Sunday, whatever the news from the week is. By then the weekend's chilled out. If you look at the trends, the week is all crazy because that's when everybody's working. The weekends, people don't really want to hold by. And then Sunday night, you can get the overview for what's expected. By then, all the stuff already blew over, he says, but those are kind of what's going on, the way to walk, so maybe Sunday night, watch a news show and, or get your information, however you get it through the internet or however you get it, get your information that you want to stay informed about on Sunday. Speak your truth always, live your truth. Gabriel says, live your truth, so that if you're living your truth, then you can in turn speak your truth. You can't speak your truth unless you're living your truth. So he says truth is a tricky word because you can sit there and say what people want to hear, but that may not be your truth. So if you're living your truth, then your words will be the truth, if that makes sense. So if you live your truth, then you will speak your truth. Because those are three different things he says. You're staying informed, you speak your truth, live your truth. When you live your truth, then you are speaking your truth, the truth, your truth, actually, your truth, because everybody has a different truth and different studies can change, what is the truth? Scientific, science can change depending on the research, whatever it is that is, but when it comes to your truth, if you're living your truth, then your words will come out true. And being present means you're living in the now, you're living right now. The best way to be present is to be in gratitude. That's what Debbie teaches. Thank you, Debbie, for this platform, Spirituality Gone Wild. She teaches gratitude. When you can get into it, when you can pull yourself back in to your body from being out there in your mind and everything, when you can bring yourself back into your heart space, from your mind space into your heart space, and in turn your body, then you can the fastest way to do that is through gratitude, to be grateful for whatever it is that you're grateful for, anything that you have. If you have your health, if you have your youth, if you have recovery, if you have whatever it is that's right now you have a roof over your head, you have food in your kitchen, you have food in your belly. Whatever it is that you can be grateful for will bring you to the present moment, because you're actually being forced to think about where you are right now, right? So that keeps you in your present, is when you can find things to be grateful for. And then just remember at that moment that this is now. This is the truth of what, or this is what's happening now. So thank you, Jim. Those were good. Let's see. Samuel says, newspapers and articles can inform you without being sucked in by the negativity. Yeah, you could do that. And again, that just kind of goes back to, how you absorb, that information, because you can peruse through it, or you can really hold on to it, and then it touches a core in your soul, and then you want to go and do this or that or whatever. It's best to just read so you know what's going on, and then bless and release those who are struggling with it, or the anger, or whatever it is, the agreements, disagreements. You're going to bless and release that, and then you're going to, just keep going on with your life. That's staying in your lane, because that's not necessarily your lane. It does affect everybody, because we're all on this earth together, of course, and there's the trickle effect. But when we stay in our lane, we can be informed with what's happening, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to, get angry about it, or that we're going to do something about it. We have jobs, we have families, so let's focus on the jobs and the families. Then how do we expand our horizons and growth? Well, how do we expand our horizons or growth? That's from Samuel. Let's see. To expand your horizons and your growth is to, really what that's saying is, you want to manifest what it is that your growth is, right? When you say your horizons, expanding your horizons means how do I grow in my life and your growth in your life as a human being. So the best way to do that is to write down and to do those, to do that dreaming that you're going to manifest. Think about what it is that you want. Be clear about what it is. Clarity in the mind is what is important. So when you're clear about, if you're not sure what you want, to expand your horizons and grow, then you're going to feel like you're always stuck because you're not sure. So the best thing to do is to be clear about what it is that you want. And that's difficult for any of us. That is like a big charge, right? That's a big question. What is it that I want? So ask yourself, what is it that I want? Am I happy with where I am now? How can I grow? That's a great question. How can I grow? How can I expand? You can say, just ask the universe, ask God, throw it out there as a question, put it down in writing as a question, and then write several things down that make sense to you. Wait till you feel it in alignment, and then you're going to go, you know what, that feels good. That is what I want to do. Or maybe that might be what my parents want me to do. That doesn't feel so good. Okay, what is it that I want to do? So that's, you just get clear about what it is that you want. And it doesn't have to be major things. It can be little things. It can be your things for today. What is it I want to do today?
Mommy, I need to go pee.
Why?
Well, I'll wait for you till you're done, okay?
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to get some water. Oh, boy. Oh. Okay. So be clear about what it is that you want.
You better keep your ears open, okay?
I've got them open right here. I can hear everything. Oh, out of the mouths of babes. Okay. I'm going to see here if I can read Renee's next question and answer it. The next question from Renee is, does staying in your lane also, I haven't read this one yet. Does staying in your lane also mean being a stable force, especially in the midst of so much change ahead this week? With the change in power in the democracy in our nation. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's go. Does staying in your lane also mean being a stable force, especially in the midst of so much change ahead this week with the change in power in the democracy of our nation? What can we do to be that stable driving force to encourage ascension and not negativity with politics, violence, and illness? Okay, thank you. That's a great question. I think he touched on some of that. And yes, staying in your lane definitely can mean that. And it's more than staying in your lane with that. At that point, it's basically praying a lot and meditating and holding a higher vibration for the world. Holding that energy of peace and love for the planet, and praying for our leaders of this nation, of the United States, just flat out praying for them and saying, give them, because they're humans. They're humans and they are doing the best they can, believe it or not, with what they have. All of them, every single one of them. And so we just pray for them and we pray for our country. It is definitely a time to pray for our country, and it is a time to pray for our politicians. It's basically, Gabriel says, it's as simple as that. We have to hold a light up for them, light a candle for them, whatever it is our beliefs are that we're going to do. We're going to drum for them. We're going to, whatever it is, we are going to hold a white light for them, white light energy for the politicians and for our nation and for peace. The opposite of what's been going on, basically. So if we can hold that beautiful space and that prayer spot for our country and for our politicians without having any, thought of anything else except from human beings to human beings and spirit to spirit, praying for our country, praying for ourselves, praying for each other. He can't even say it strong enough. I can feel that, the need for us to, all of our prayers should be for that as much as possible this week. And it'll work. It'll work. It's much better energetically for us and for the country. If there's nothing else that we can do, we can do that, because we all have beliefs. Otherwise, we wouldn't be watching the show right now. We have spiritual beliefs, and we have beliefs in a higher source. We have beliefs in God. We have beliefs in Jesus. We have beliefs in Buddha. We have our spiritual beliefs. So, just stick with whatever it is our beliefs are, he says, and let's pray, because it's all to the white light. So if we can do that, if we find ourselves getting stuck, then we can, just remember that this week. Just start praying, singing, doing whatever it is that makes you feel better. Change this channel if things get rowdy, because things will get rowdy. He says things are going to get a little rowdy, but he said it's human nature. There's many humans on the planet, and it's happened many times in history. There have been many things in history. If you go back in history, this is nothing new for this planet. But it's just in our generation, we may have never seen it this way. So it's new to us. So then it's new. But it's not new to this planet. It's not new to our ancestors. It's not new to those who have come before us. So they live through it or not, we'll live through it or not. But whatever it is, our footprint will be here on the planet, he says, because we chose to come. It's up to us what we're going to do with that, with our time that we're here. It's a limited time. We all have limited time here. And what are we going to do on this planet while we're here is the big question when it comes to that. Great question, Renee. Thank you. That was from Jim and from me. That was excellent. And then Samuel says, amen, which, in essence is, and so it is. Thank you. And so it is. Jody Cortez. Hi, Jody. Be the example. Love and light. Come from love. Truth from love. Turn off the negative and flush it away. Breathe in love and light. Breathe out the negative vibes. That's exactly right. That's a beautiful meditation. So when you're breathing in and you're doing your meditation, you're breathing in the love and light, and then out what you don't want. In what you do want, out what you want to release. So when you're doing your meditation, you're going to breathe in the light of God, the peace, and then you're going to breathe out what you don't want, what you're getting rid of. Release it quickly. Jim says, yes, that makes sense. Thank you. Samuel, be the change that you want to see in the world. Absolutely. That's where it comes back to being in our lane. If we're the change and we think we can't make the difference, we're wrong about that. Or that's not the truth. We can make the difference by being the change that we want in this world, being the light that we want. Whatever it is that we want is what we should give, and then it'll come back to us. That's just the way it is. Whatever it is that we want in our life is who we should be, so that in turn will come right back to us. That will be our life, because there are many people thriving right now. There are many people happy right now, maybe in different ways, but they're thriving financially. They're thriving in their health. They're thriving in their life, because that's where they are. That's just where their energy is. And if they get stuck, they bounce back up. It's not always easy, but we can bounce back up. When we get stuck, we all get stuck. We can try to bounce back up and then bounce back up. It's possible to do that. And so when you know that you're able to do that, that you are capable of doing that at whatever level that is comfortable for you, then that gives you hope, right? And that's what that is about. Jody says, grateful to Debbie. Gratitude is huge. Absolutely. Debbie says, I'm so grateful for you too. Okay, now I'm just reading. Okay, Carly says, the little love fest. That's great. These are questions here. Let's see. Carly says, I true type believe that staying in our lane is prayer for our country, for peace, for acceptance, for love for each other, despite their beliefs. Absolutely. It doesn't matter what other people believe. I had somebody that, you know, had asked me, he said that he put out on Facebook, he was a therapist, saying, well, you know, what should I do if somebody completely doesn't believe what I believe? And then, you know, he got a lot of different feedback, you can imagine, but most of the feedback was just, what would you do with any other client that doesn't believe what you believe? You know, but that's how rooted we are in this division that's happening. It's like we have to check ourselves out and say, wow, is it really, you know? So yeah, whatever it is people want to believe, that's their core belief since they were a child for some reason, or whatever it is. There's no right or wrong. Humans believe that what their beliefs are the truth in their world. Those are their truths. So we just pray for each other. Debbie says, everyone, let's pray for ATS and everyone there, sending lots of healing vibes. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, ATS is our treatment center, and we definitely are asking for prayers for our clients and our staff right now that have gotten hit with this COVID-19. And again, they're all doing fine. I check in with them on a regular basis, and they're doing God's work via Zoom and telehealth. And we're going to get through this. I know we are. We're going to get through all of this. And let's see, I'm going to go on to Facebook here. I said, okay, we have Facebook users. I agree a lot. Some of the Facebook, I can't see the names, so I don't know. I don't watch TV too much. Insanity, exactly. Patricia Kelly saying that. Yeah, it is insanity. But it's so curious. As humans, we're just curious. Like I was saying last week, I got curious and I got all into it for a couple days, and then I got back out. But always good vibes. Politics, yeah, I know it's the opposite of spirituality at the moment, it seems like. But it's all the same, really, as far as we're all one. So let's see. Okay, good. Facebook user, I heard this once. You are the 5 people whom you spend the most time with. Right, exactly. We are the 5 people we spend the most time with. So that's a very good example. Pat Kelly, I focus on visioning for all I desire while I'm at home. Very good. That's awesome. That's what we're doing at home. Exactly. Amen. That's what we're talking about. What can we do right now while we are home? Well, you know, we have choices. We have free will, and that's the beauty of spirituality, and that's the beauty of God, is that we have the free will. We talked about that in group today, how we have, you know, we can decide to ask God for help. We can decide to allow the angels to nurture us while we're sleeping. You know, it's not just necessarily a decision, but we you know, we have free will to open that door for the light, or we can sit there and be depressed and anxious. That's our choice, and it's okay either way. We're human, so we are going to feel those bumpy roads. But the sooner that we can get back up, the better, right? The better it is for all of us. So thank you for those comments, and I appreciate all of it. It's great, and I appreciate you guys tonight bearing with me. And you know, we're home. I mean, we're home, and I've got my grandson, and we're staying safe, and he's having fun, and you know, that's what life is, and that's what, you know, this show is. So before we go much further, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring Gabriel in, and he's going to give a message. So I'm going to drink a little bit of water. And then we'll see what Gabriel says about all this. Probably. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for being part of our show, Drama to Dharma. As Josie says, we came up with that title. She's the drama, meaning you all as humans are the drama. And we are the Dharma, and you are the Dharma when you are in alignment with yourself. It's all the same. It's all the same. When you are in your drama, what you call drama, that's your movie. That's your world. Drama is a movie, and that's all it is. You can look back at you can look back when you're in alignment with who you truly are, your higher self, and look at your life and say, yes, that's interesting. That's funny sometimes. It's quite funny. It's humorous if you look at it. You know, the little things in life that you get so upset about sometimes. And then later on in your life, you'll say, wow, I used to get upset with those little things that now mean nothing, because the big picture is shown to me, the awareness of who you are. So the topic tonight is staying in your lane, meaning, as Josie said, we came up with that title because we thought it was kind of funny. She says that a lot to remind herself, stay in my lane, when she gets into people's business, basically. So what we, it has different meanings, but primarily it means stay in your own thoughts, stay in your own life, stay in your own business. Stay in your business. What other humans are doing is not your responsibility. It is not necessarily what you need to focus on. Right now, especially, it's time to focus on your healing, your raising of your vibration energetically. And when you say, okay, a lot of you are care providers for others, for that's your job. And we bless you for that. We bless you for all the work that you do for each other. We're not saying not to help each other, but we are saying take care of yourself and focus on your own healing. You cannot heal others if you do not heal yourself first. And if you do not focus on your own enlightenment and your own higher vibration. When you're in alignment with who you truly are, then that light shines onto the world, and it is most important that the light is shining on others, on each other. So in essence, when you stay in your lane and when you're focused on your own, what your beliefs are, what your higher vibrational beliefs are, what your spiritual beliefs are, with aligning with your true self, when you're focused on that light, then you will share that with others automatically. You will give more to this world than you ever know. Without judgment, without anxiety, without fear, without anger. You're going to see the world through the eyes of Source. That's the goal. When we say to feel that energy spiritually, the goal is to see the world through the eyes of Source, through our eyes, so that you could see the beauty of each other, and you can see the beauty of all that is happening in the reality that you are in a higher dimension now. You are in a higher realm. 2021. All the old stuff that you're grieving is gone. 2020 and years prior. Has the world changed? Yes. Embrace it. Go with it. But in order to do that, you must be in alignment with who you are and know the clarity of who you are. You say, Gabriel, what does that mean? That's easy for you to say. You know who you are. And we say, yes, that's true. But the reason we're saying it so boldly is because we want you to realize that the old stories are leaving. The old stories are leaving, and that's okay. You can bless and release the past. As Josie says sometimes, everything's changed. Nothing's the same. Doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't. But go with the future. Go with the now and go with the future. Keep going forward and stay in the now and go forward. Does that make sense? It's a spiritual conundrum. Just bless the past. If it weren't for the past, you wouldn't be who you are today, of course. You're beautiful human beings. But it's an old story. You're walking into your Dharma now. You're walking into your spirit. You're walking into the enlightenment. You're walking into the light. That's what's happening. You don't know it yet, but you'll feel it more. So we want you to know that you're loved and that you're perfect. And we are here for you. If you ask us as the angelic realm, you just ask us and we are here. You know that. You all have relationships with us, most of you. And if you haven't, you can just ask. And we will be here for you to answer your questions in subtle ways and not so subtle ways. When you say, wow, we think that was God. Yes, it was. I think that was an angel. It was. Go with it. When good things happen in your life, embrace them. Embrace them and know there's more where that came from, much more where all of that came from. We have so many blessings to bestow on you. We love you. We love you dearly. And you are perfect exactly where you are. And so is this home. We're all at home with our families now. Bless each other. We are complete. That was Gabriel. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I did. It always feels so much better. I feel higher vibration when I invite him in to share. And yeah, so he always says, I could feel him saying, well, thank you for inviting me on our show. I never used to invite him on the show. I would just, try to give messages myself, which I do. And they come out fine. But tonight it was, imperative that I brought him through, especially because I've got a few distractions around me and I've got lots of love around me. And so for you guys that are home and you're with your families and, you might be going like, okay, there's distractions. How am I going to do my spiritual work? Well, I think I'm proof tonight. You can still do it with distractions. I mean, you can have a house full of kids and pets and you can still meditate. It's possible. Because you know what? Our families are who we love. And that's why we're here. Everything is perfect. And if you're home alone, that's okay too, because you're never alone. You always have those who love you.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's time for our
This is
commercial
so cool.
of our
It's so
sponsor,
pretty.
our treatment center, ATS. I'm going to put up our sponsor and thank ATS, who is our sponsor.
My name is Christopher Zwick. I've struggled with addiction for all of my adult life. I went from alcohol to opiates to heroin and meth. I spiraled down until I ended up in the hospital, malnourished and suicidal. I was the shell of the man I used to be. Then, I found hope. I found ATS. Advanced Therapeutic Services provided me with a safe environment and the tools necessary to recover. I learned how to address the root issues behind the addiction. I now have over a year clean. I owe my life to ATS.
Thank you for that. I always like to say that we just gave him tools and he does the work himself, Christopher. Our clients do their work and we're just here to help them, hopefully, through that threshold of recovery. So if you know anybody that has the need for help with addiction or behavioral health, you can call us at ATS IOP, and we will get you onto a Zoom. And like we're doing now, this is what the world's all about, but we can be here to support you and your family if that is something that is a need in your life, because we all know somebody and we all have something going on. So I want to thank everybody for being on the show tonight. We're going to end a few minutes early because I have my grandson I'm going to go, spend some time with. And then next week I think I will have a guest on, and I don't know, guys, I just love you. And thank you for joining the show. And until next week, I have my Facebook group called Try Angels, where we put our angel pictures and anything positive that you want to share. So join the Facebook group. And if I'm not participating on Facebook, at least once a week my show is on there, and then I try to put updates, but it's there for you guys to have your space to where you can share your beautiful pictures and your beautiful messages to each other. Okay, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.